Hey, hey, lost copy. It's Jason, and I'm here with Mac,
Hey,
and
everybody.
we are going to talk about uh, one of my favorite movies from childhood, still one of my favorite movies in adulthood, uh, the movie FX with Brian Dennehy, the illustrious, underrated,
Hell yeah, he's
you
my
know,
guy.
the dude, uh, Brian Dennehy, and then also Bryan Brown, who's right there behind me. Um, and he's putting the stuff on Jerry Orbach.
Jerry
From,
Orbach, classic Jerry Orbach.
yeah, I mean Jerry Orbach's awesome in this movie too. All of them are honestly. So just to break down a little bit about what the movie is, what it's about, um, FX, and it's I think this came out when Mac like 86,
1986.
86. Um, it definitely has 86 vibes and
Oh yeah, for sure.
a lot of 86 vibes. And Diane Venora is also in this. Notably, she was in Heat, one of our other very, very
That's one of our
all-time
favorites.
favorites. I mean, that's like Dude Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's the Mount Rushmore.
but this movie I rented probably a million times from Blockbuster, and it's just great. So the premise of the movie is basically Bryan Brown is plays this guy Roland
Rollie Tyler
Rollie Tyler, and
from Australia.
he is a special effects whiz. Like he is like at the top of his game, and he does all of these analog special effects. This is the time, obviously, '86 before CGI, any of that stuff. Um, and there's a mob boss played by Jerry Orbach, and he's going to go into the Witness Protection Agency. And in order to do that, the CIA or the FBI or whatever shady
It's
agents,
the Justice Department.
it's the Justice Department.
Yeah,
There you go. Thank you,
and
Mac.
working
Um,
for it's the Witness Relocation Program, and this all gets set up in the first 15 minutes. That's what's great about this movie.
oh yeah,
It starts rolling right away. You
yep,
know, it
yep, and
starts off with the fake scene, the fake opening, movie scene that you've seen before, like in some Brian De Palma movies. So
yep.
that's always kind of cool.
Oh,
And
that's the best. Like obviously, like maybe a little bit of a nod to Brian De Palma. No, I would
yeah,
put this movie on par with a Brian De Palma film, but as far as like action, fun, like engaging movies, it still holds up. Both of my kids, all three of my kids, I should say, um, uh, love this movie. Like like we really dig it. You know, we have
when this movie came out, you and were probably like I was like 15. You were probably like maybe 13 or 14. And I think if you saw this movie between that 12 and 18 age range, you loved it. I mean, this
oh
movie was just fun,
yeah, yeah, it
and
is a lot of fun. Um,
and I just the way it sets up real quick, and like they have the opening scene, and then the guy that wants to hire him, he walks right in like 5 minutes later.
yep,
And
yeah, he
then,
walks it.
Raleigh's like, "Hey, why don't you meet me at my house tomorrow morning at 11?" And so it's so funny because the next day, Raleigh's like still in his like tidy whities at 11, and the guy shows up. Like, oh yeah, hold on, I'll throw you down the keys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He throws the keys down. Well, that gives us like a first taste of like because there is like the fake movie scene at the start of the film where it's like a gangster comes in and shoots up a restaurant and shoots up a lobster tank and all the lobsters and
Multiple
all the
lobster
water people
tanks.
pull out like so really cool. But then after that, when this agent um or Justice Department official gets the keys, he runs upstairs, opens the door to Rollie Tyler's apartment, and this gigantic creature, which you can see in Mac's background back there, jumps out and like scares the hell out of him. And I mean, as a kid,
Oh, you
right
love it.
there, dude, I was like, I
You
love this
love it.
movie.
And the
Yeah,
fact
it's
that, the movies that he worked on were kind of like, horror movies.
Yes.
I mean, so, and, you and I grew up on 80s horror movies, which we love. So when they start, talking about all the different titles of his movies, like I Dismember Mama,
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, they have like a few, and they're nods to actual movies that came out. And I think like they're like, because I know there was a movie called I Remember Mama, and then
Yeah.
this one's like
And
I Dismember Mama.
I
Um,
think that the posters that are in his apartment, I I don't know if I think they're real movies. Now
well,
the
they
names
sure
the,
look
the
like it.
names that they name off, I think are fake movies, but the posters that are actually in his apartment, I think are from real movies.
Okay, cool.
I think I
Yeah,
read
I
that
did
somewhere.
not know that. It like, and of course, like too. By the way, like he's in this like New York City, like kind of industrial-ish studio apartment. It's just
Right.
badass. Like, I mean,
Oh, that's
like
awesome.
it's probably the second apartment I would want after like maybe Tom Hanks's big apartment. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
like it's up there. Like that's the level we're talking here. Um, but yeah, like so the guy goes in, he's trying to get Rollie Tyler to basically they want to do
They want to
a
they
fake
they have Jerry
assassination.
Orbach in the witness protection program, and they don't think they can keep him alive, so they want to do a fake assassination so everyone thinks that he's dead. All right. And Rollie Tyler, like, he's like, nah, I don't think so. That's impossible, blah, blah, blah. But then Lipton makes him go and meet Mason
Yep.
and, Colonel Mason or what, yeah, I think that's his name. And he tries to talk him into it. And Rollie Tyler still says, nah, I'm not interested. And he starts walking out the door. And then Mason says, hey, let's get Bill McKinnon. And that's when Tyler's like, hey, wait, whoa, 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 whoa. Who? You're going to get Bill? Let me think about it. I'll do it. So it's his
Not
own
Bill
ego.
McKinnon.
Yeah. It's his own ego that gets him involved.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty great, like how they kind of basically con him into it, and
Yeah.
and like you said, like Lipton, that's the wormy Justice Department
Right.
underling, and then Mason is,
Mason is
like
like
he's
he's in
superior.
charge. But I got a theory because I think Mason and Lipton, I think, have been corrupt for a while. Okay. And I think that their plan to do this fake assassination with Jerry Orbach and then double cross Raleigh is their way to get out because I think they're about to get busted anyway and they need an escape, so they like,
Yeah,
hey, Jerry Orbach just ripped off 15 million from the mob. Let's run away with him, you know?
exactly, and
So
we'll
I,
help
I
you do
think
it.
that's their plan.
Yeah, because they're gonna try to, because they're not only like, hey, let's run away with him, let's help him do it, let's help him get away,
Right.
and then he'll cut us in on the deal or whatever. And like that's those three, Jerry Orbach, his gangster dude, Lipton and Mason, they have that kind of deal amongst themselves.
Right.
But what's wild is so like Rollie Tyler goes back to Mason. He's like, "Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do your thing. Like,
Yep.
so I'll set up the assassination. I'll set
Yep.
up this thing." They're like, "Hey, Rollie, you're the only one that can do it, man.
You
You're
need to shoot.
you're
You need to be the shooter.
you need to do it. We need to have you on the pistol or whatever." And he's like, I've never bloody shot anybody, like whatever he says, and he goes off and he's like he's kind
But
of
he
pissed,
agrees.
but then he agrees exactly because he knows like again it's that his everything that bad that happens to Rollie Tyler is because of his ego.
It's because of his ego.
Um,
You know, he loves to feed his ego. So he agrees to be the shooter. And then they pull it off. Okay. He goes in the restaurant, he shoots Jerry Orbach, all the blood squibs go off right at the right places. He runs back out into the car, and the car pulls out, and Lipton says, hey, how did it go? And Raleigh was like, it went perfect, no problem at all. And then Lipton, then he looks on the seat, he's like, hey, what's this plastic for?
oh yeah, he's sitting in all the
Yeah,
plastic and like on like the big bench seat
right,
behind
right. He's like, what's all this
that you
plastic
haven't eaten.
for?
Oh man,
And
that
Lipton
scene.
tries to double cross him and pulls the gun on him, and Tyler grabs the gun, and they struggle in the car, and the poor driver gets shot in the back of the head.
Always, by the way,
Always,
if you're the mob driver and the gun comes out in the car, you know you're
yeah,
dead. You're dead.
you
You
don't have a
die too.
chance.
Yep.
And the best is though when they crash into the wall, and the wall is just covered with Chuck Norris and Stallone posters.
Code
You
of
know,
silence.
Code of Silence. That's great.
That's sick. And
And
would you say there's also Halloween 4?
that's from King of New York.
Oh, that's from King of New York. That's
Yeah.
what, like
So
that's another little thing we've been doing on these rewatches is checking out like what movie posters
yeah. And in
happening at the
FX,
same
when they
time frame.
crash into that wall, it's covered with Code of Silence posters and Rambo 2
Oh,
posters.
Rambo 2,
Yeah.
that's the one that was.
Yeah.
I knew it was a bigger one. Like
Yeah.
like Code
So
of
that's
Silence. That's big.
awesome. And then, Raleigh jumps out of the car, and he escapes out of there. And
But
then
but
they
wait,
tow his van.
but wait 1 second, because
But
when they wreck that car, they wreck it into like a subway or something.
it's
Goes down, and then some dude in
the homeless guy.
classic '80s homeless guy jumps up. He's like, "I said no parking after 10
Right.
o'clock," or
Right.
whatever. And it's like
That's classic.
so good and so terrible all at once. But like that's just I love that scene for whatever reason, just because it's like so ridiculous. They did not need to include that,
No.
but that's
But they
awesome.
just it's kind of like a little, side humor. The homeless guy with, that's mentally ill yelling at him like for parking there.
Yeah,
When they crashed into that wall.
so so awesome. It's so '80s, man.
No. And then Raleigh escapes though. He runs away. They tow his van. And so he runs back to his girlfriend's house, Diane Verona.
Well,
And
when he escapes though too, he runs down the street, right?
yeah.
And the bad guys are still after him, and he makes a
Oh,
phone call.
that's right. We forgot about that.
He makes a phone call in the
Calls Mason because he still thinks Mason's on his side.
right. So he calls Mason. He's like, Lipton just freaked out on me, dude. And he's like, oh, I'll take care of that. Don't worry. And
He's like, "Where are you?"
yeah, it says,
And then
where are you? He says, immediately sends a car down, a police car, by the way, cops.
right,
They jump out and they just light that freaking like phone
right.
booth up. And
And
he's
there
off,
just happened to be some poor sap that was in there that just
that's
making a phone
wearing
call.
similar clothes. So he's standing in there, and then like he sees this guy just get assassinated, and he knows, oh no, like he figures it out right then.
Right. He knows that Mason's involved now.
Yep.
And one of the henchmen that come out of the car is one of our guys, Tom Noonan.
Oh yeah, yep. Tom Noonan, from Manhunter.
From Manhunter, from Heat. I mean, he's one of those guys that just shows up in a brief role, but he's awesome every time.
Yep.
And
He makes the lost copy repeat list.
yeah. But anyway, yeah. So then Raleigh escapes and runs over to his girlfriend's house, Diane Verona. And Diane Verona plays a batshit crazy actress, that Raleigh just, he loves, but, and she's telling him to go to the news. Like, you should go, go to the newspapers. And he's kind of at her place, and he's kind of real, like, he's not really nervous. Like, he doesn't, even though that just happened, they're just laying in bed together, and he's like, "Oh, what should I do?" And then Diane Verona goes up and like pulls the blinds, and all of a sudden she gets sniped. A sniper takes her out.
Oh yeah, full sniper.
Full sniper takes out Diane Verona. So Raleigh doesn't know what the hell's going on. The sniper crosses the street and comes up into the apartment, and Raleigh's like, "What the hell?" And he's like up in this loft, and he throws a bunch of boxes on him and then tries to fight him.
Well, that's because like Raleigh is not a fighter. The rest of these dudes are like ex-military, like cops, things like that. Rollie Tyler's like a special effects guy, so yeah, like he doesn't know how to fight. So this like assassin comes up to like kill him, and instead of like trying to like stab him or like kill him like right when he comes in the door, whatever, he jumps out like a bear or whatever, like a
Yeah, right.
ghost to scare him or whatever. It's just like it's kind of funny.
And somehow throughout that fight, he ends up killing him by taking an iron to his head.
Yeah,
Remember, he like smashes his head with that iron.
he keeps hitting him. He struggles. They struggle over the sniper rifle.
Right. But then the guy
Like
he
he
knocks him out unconscious
yeah,
for a
like
brief.
Rollie grabs the iron, knocks the guy out, and then but again, because he's not a fighter and he's just like a normal, like run of the mill, like dude, he is just absolutely gasping for air at the
Yeah.
end of that fight. It's like I remember like when I was a kid and I saw this movie, I thought that was like so ridiculous, like overacting and like God, what is this dude doing? And
Right.
now I know, like, as an adult, like, if you fought somebody for your life for like 2 minutes straight,
Right.
you'd just be like, ah,
Be in
ah.
shock. You'd be like, what the hell is going on?
You'd just be gasping air like that.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that, like, little bit of like acting now. But like, so he takes out this like hitman, and he's like, now I gotta get like my van. I got to get
Right.
my sidekick,
Right.
Andy. I need her to help me out do some things. I know she's your favorite character in the movie.
She's terrible. She is, I mean, I don't know. I forgot what that actress's name was, but she's some of her
Oh, there's a reason.
delivery is just, her dialogue is terrible and her delivery is terrible. And
Oh,
and that's why they get rid of her, you know?
definitely wouldn't. I
Three
mean, there's
quarters of the way in the movie. Like they just I think the director just wrote in that scene where Raleigh just ditches her. You know?
he's like, hey, get out. Like, Molly, you shit.
Right, right.
Molly, you're a dick. Yeah.
But prior to that, though, yeah, he starts to get his FX stuff together, and then finally Brian Dennehy shows up.
The man. Yep.
Well, it's funny because that first scene where like he's in bed and there's like fucking Cheetos all around, and it's just like he lives like a pig.
It's like an ashtray,
Yeah,
like a half-eaten bucket of chicken,
right.
like a bottle of NyQuil.
He
You
still
know,
has like a rotary
it's like
phone.
it's just like shit everywhere, all the way up to his bed.
Right.
Ugh.
And he answers the phone. And he's like, all right, I'll be there. And he goes and he investigates the crime, and he's looking at the dead, but by the time he gets there, everybody's been taken down to the morgue. So like, he's like, well, what the hell am I doing here?
Well,
So anyway,
he shows up. He shows up in like a suit, right?
yeah,
And he's not as disheveled as you think he's going to be for, especially like his apartment, the
right.
condition that it's in. But it's like in one of those scenes, like when he first steps into the crime scene, he is like the size of like a grizzly bear, man.
Right.
Like that
No, he's a
dude's
burly dude.
torso is like a card table. Like,
Yeah.
you're like, what? Like, I just every time he steps into that scene where he's like goes from like laying in bed to like being there, I'm just like, this dude's enormous, man. Like
Yeah.
he's like massive man.
He's a big burly
It's
dude.
pretty
And that's,
great. It's
and
pretty great.
he's great. Like, the first time I saw him was in First Blood, which is, that was like my favorite movie when I was a kid. I saw it when I was like 11 years old. And one of the things that makes that movie great is Brian Dennehy playing Sheriff Will Teasel.
Oh yeah, yes, definitely.
So, and then one of the reasons why I love this movie because he's kind of playing the same character. You
Or
know,
if you or your conspiracy theory.
I do have a conspiracy theory where this movie is a spin-off of First Blood. Because if you think about it, at the end of First Blood, Dennehy goes off to the hospital, Stallone goes to jail. Okay. And then, but by the time this movie comes out, because Rambo 2 came out a year before this movie. So
Okay,
Rambo's out of jail now. So now Will Teasel's like, hey, I need in the witness relocation program before Rambo fucking comes and gets me. So he gets,
he gets
he was,
everybody, dude.
yeah. So
Rambo
he
gets
was playing this.
everybody.
So he was a small town sheriff in, whatever, Washington State or something. and he gets transferred to be a homicide detective in New York. And they give him a new name, a new identity, but while he's in the witness relocation program, he figures out that these fuckers are corrupt. You know,
The program itself.
the program itself
Yep.
is corrupt. So when he gets, so now he's leading the investigation on this murder. And when he figures out that it's the witness relocation program, there's a scene where he figures out, he's like, those fuckers, and he's like, I knew it. And when he goes and visits Colonel Adams or Colonel Mason, there's like, if you look at it, he knows him. Now Mason doesn't recognize him, but Dennehy kind of knows him. He's like, hey, how you doing? And it just kind of all adds up. and that's why he wants to he escapes with Rollie Tyler at the end. And he just
at the expense of the Justice Department,
right,
and the witness program,
right,
witness protection program, and like just to like spite them, basically.
Right. Yeah. Because he's not he was the one that caught Jerry Orbach's character.
Yes,
all right,
is important too. That's important.
That's important because and he doesn't get assigned to the case though when they do the assassination. And he's wondering why, because the Justice Department doesn't want him involved.
That's right too, because not only does he not get on the case, but they immediately suspend him.
Because he goes in and he roughs up his rival. Yep. The guy that played Nathan Arizona in Raising Arizona. He plays like Brian Dennehy's rival, and he gets assigned the case. So Brian Dennehy goes and harasses him and roughs him up. And, so then Brian Dennehy gets suspended. And during that scene when he's getting suspended, he remember he's kind of faking, like he looks like he's all distraught. And his captain comes and kind of embraces him and he steals his badge.
Yeah, he's hugging the guy.
Yeah.
Or where, what was I going to say? Or where, like his rival in the office, and mainly like almost every single person there. Is that Gordon from Sesame Street too? In that scene?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
But anyway, like almost everybody is smoking in this, like, especially like if it's like a police station.
Yeah.
Thing, like they are. Like, I know that guy's like talking to Dennehy and he's just like smoking. And he's got like two people with him. He's like smoking, like, Lipton smoking all the time. Oh, and that's another thing too. So like when Rollie pulls the heist and goes to shoot goes to like perform the fake assassination, Lipton messes with the gun.
Right. So when they're prepping Jerry Orbach and they're putting the squibs on him, Rollie sees Lipton messing with the gun.
And wait 1 second, like maybe like one of the coolest scenes in the movie is where they are putting the like goop all over Jerry Orbach's face.
Right.
And making the mask and making the mold to make the mask, and like,
which is important for the ending.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when they pull off the fake assassination, all right, and everything goes well, but when they double cross Rollie can't understand why they would double cross him unless he really killed Jerry Orbach. You know what I mean?
Right.
In his mind, and this plays on his ego again. He thinks that he is so good that he couldn't tell the difference if he really killed him or if it was just the squibs going off, So because he thinks he can't figure it out because he thinks he really killed Jerry Orbach.
Yeah, he's on the run partly because he thinks he killed somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
He thinks he killed somebody, and now he thinks like they're trying to kill him, and he can't figure it out, when really they're just cleaning up loose ends and they're really going to, jump in a helicopter with Jerry Orbach. So, but so that leads us to, you know, when he grabs his assistant and gets her involved
Yep.
and, makes her bring, his makeup kit and all his special effects stuff. And then, but Tom Noonan is following her. You remember we're over by
Oh
the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
boathouse when, so there's a scene where Raleigh's assistant comes in with all his stuff. Raleigh's like, "You were followed. See that guy out there? He's following you." And then he sends her out there with like this toy plastic boat and says, "Raleigh has a gun pointed to your head. If you want to talk to him, put this boat in the water." And Tom Noonan falls for the old put the boat in the water trick, because then all Raleigh does is just come running out and pushes him in the water.
It's like he's never been to summer camp or something.
Right.
It's like Tom Noonan's never had like an older brother or anything like that. So,
Well, then the chase is on then, and Raleigh and his assistant start running away, and then Tom Noonan starts running after him. And Tom Noonan looks like Victor Wembanyama when he's running because he's like 8 feet tall. Yeah. He's like
he
one of
does
the
look like Victor Wembanyama. Like he's one. He plays the Tooth Fairy in Manhunter.
Manhunter.
He's huge. The dude is like 7 foot tall.
He's got to be at least 6'5" or 6'7". I mean,
and in this movie, he runs apparently like turtle pace because like he cannot catch up to Andy, who's running in boots, and she's like about like 5 foot.
right.
Like
He should catch up with her easy with his strides.
And every five steps, Raleigh's like, "Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up!" And I'm just like, I just keep laughing. I'm like, she can't, dude. She's 5 foot. Like that whole scene is hilarious, and him like just the fact that Tom Noonan's even in this movie is just wild.
Oh, it's awesome.
I mean, like, this had to come out like right around the same time as Manhunter too. So he probably did like
this is the same year as Man. I think Manhunter was 86.
Yeah, so I was gonna say you got to do these roles like pretty close to each other.
Yeah,
it could be more different, but
yeah. No. So then Raleigh finally they end up
going.
They end up like underground. That's right, like underneath the they're in the sewer system or something. But then. You remember the scene where he opens up his little makeup kit and it glows just like the briefcase from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, the MacGuffin style. Like,
yeah,
what magic lurks?
What magic is in there, and what am I gonna do?
And you know what magic lurks in there? He could make himself look into like a really terrible version of Nick Fleetwood.
Right, right. When he comes out of
they come
out from underground.
Because she basically complains. Like Andy's like, we gotta do something. We can't just like live down here in the sewer now. Like this can't just be our life. Like, I mean, she does kind of make a plea to like live again.
Well, and that's when when they come out of underground, that's when it's like Raleigh has his confidence. And he's ready. He's like, I'm going to get these guys, And then, so then when he makes the fake phone call to the Justice Department and he tricks them by taping the two phones together, the two pay phones that were in the lobby.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even know what the hell he was doing there because they thought he was in the building.
Yeah. Yeah.
They run downstairs and they're like, and the two phones are just like taped together. And I don't even know really what that was doing. And he was calling from like a third phone.
Yeah.
So
I think it was that he put a receiver in one.
Yeah. They had them like upside down taped together. So one phone was talking to the other. And I think it just made it look like he was calling from the lobby.
Yeah. Like, it probably made sense in the 80s, whatever that was. That didn't make much sense to me either of how the actual like trick was working.
Right.
I don't care.
So then Mason is like, go get him, and Mason jumps in his car He pulls out of the parking
Go
lot,
get him.
and Raleigh's behind him and like Garrett's him, and he's like, just go this way. And he takes him to, some remote area and then gets him out of the car. But Andy is in the trunk.
Oh yeah.
Like, what? How did she get in there? And how long has she been in there?
And yeah, and why do you do that to your assistant? Like, there's so many
Right.
other ways where she could have participated in this. Like, you didn't have to just have her in a trunk
They
if
could
you
have
knew where
just
you were
picked
going
her
to
up,
go, or have her meet me at the destination,
Right.
or get in the goddamn trunk.
But at that point of the movie, he doesn't even need her anymore, you know? So Andy gets out of the trunk and they put Lipton in the trunk, and then he starts doing, smash up derby and all like, telephone poles and stuff. And he's, asking Lipton what for Mason's address. And he starts like running into walls, and Mason, Lipton's in the truck getting the shit kicked out of him.
And again, also to point out, Andy's also in the car.
He's also in the
Could
car.
easily be standing outside of the car.
What
Keep,
she doesn't need
keep
to
her
be in
in
there.
here.
I mean, she's probably getting beat up too.
Okay, definitely, because he keeps leaning over and asking her if she's okay, and like
Right.
he's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And it's like, let her out of the fucking car, man.
Right.
Anyway, I love that, but like, so like, and then a point that like drives us both crazy. You never see Lipton again,
You
really.
never see
Like,
Lipton again.
I guess he
You don't
either
know what
died,
happens.
he either
He's still
died.
in the trunk.
Yep, he's still in the trunk in
He never got
FX3.
out of the trunk. They just left the car there.
I know FX3 that they just let him out in FX3. Um, so yeah, you don't know whatever happens to him, but he gets the information that he needs.
Gets the information that he needs. So then they go and they break out the truck from the impound lot, which is another hilarious scene.
It,
Because
well, it's hilarious because like, and you pointed this out too, like because they reference movies to each other, and like the movie reference is like the action like command
right, he's
basically.
right. So they get into the truck and they figure, all right, the only way we can get out of here if we just set off some explosives. And he mentions, I forgot what movie it was, but he mentions one of his movies. And
And then he's like
all of
zombie family or something like
yeah,
that.
and then all of a sudden it looks like a scene from Platoon where shit's just blowing up, and like it almost blows up that one couple that's like trying to get their car out of the lot.
I mean, like so close to that other couple.
Right.
Like I think like they didn't even that. I think that might have been like, oh shit, we got these extras way too close.
Right. Yeah. Like that looked like it was like seriously too close.
like like don't have an FX accident on the movie FX. That's like I mean
Right.
that's like having like a
Well,
Twilight Zone moment on the
he
Twilight
goes into the
Zone.
next scene where they bust the truck out, and then he's driving like a maniac. He pulls up like onto the sidewalk, and he barely misses like a whole family of people.
Well, he takes out the
And
whole bistro that's sitting on the
right, that whole
sidewalk
bistro,
bistro.
people are just jumping like they look like legitimately scared. Like holy shit. Oh, it's crazy.
Well, that happens, and then like immediately following that, um, he's driving, and Raleigh looks over at Andy because does this happen like it's like one more moment of like comic relief where like he picks up this like cigar box and she's like Raleigh, don't look
That
in
happened
there.
early on in the
Oh, that
movie.
was it earlier in the
Yeah.
movie.
And
But
I
like
think
that,
that was just kind of like establishing their relationship, how they just kind of joke with each other. But yeah, she pulls a little, he has this, like, he sees this box. He's like, what's in this box? And she's like, oh, please don't open that. Please don't open that.
it's
He's
really
like, oh, come
personal,
on.
Raleigh.
And he couldn't resist. And he had to open it. And it was like, a bunch of powder in his face. And
Yeah.
she's like, I mean, it was like a child's prank. And she's like, like, ah. Oh,
But yeah, so they escape. They they kind of like get up to like a safe spot where they can like stop the van And this is when Raleigh does Mac's favorite thing in the movie,
This is the best scene in the movie is when
where
they
he
get rid of
basically,
her.
yeah, he stops the van. He's like, "Oh," and he acts like there's like a flat tire or something in the back. And so she hops out of the van too and runs around her side, and he runs back in, hops in, and takes off. And like leaves,
Right.
and she's like, "Raleigh, you
They're gonna kill
asshole!"
you.
Oh yeah, she's like, "If they don't kill you, I will."
Right. Yeah, she was pissed.
But yeah, so he ditches her, and then it really gets awesome, man. Like then
Yeah, because
like
then it goes to Mason's house,
yeah,
and both Raleigh and Brian Dennehy's character are going to Mason's house because Brian Dennehy is looking for Mason's house too. Because you remember when he busts into his office and he's looking for Mason's address, and the secretary goes in there. It's like, that's classified information, and he's like, I don't care if it's tattooed on your ass. He gives a classic. You know, I mean, that's something that Will Teaser would say.
yeah. And I mean, that's so 80s too, man. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh,
you
it's
can't expect
classic.
anything now. But that
So
is a
anyway,
classic
they
line.
meet. Everyone converges at Mason's house, and that's when Raleigh starts making all these crazy booby traps.
Well, and
And
also I want to say too that Leo slash Leo Teasel, um Leo starts to unravel some of this stuff
oh
with
yes,
this other police officer, this lady that is like pulling this stuff up on a computer. And I mean, these are like Apple IIs or something. Like
right,
these are
that's
ancient
right.
computers, black, green screen kind of thing. And like she finds out some information, gives it to Leo, and he's like, "Oh my God, take a vacation if you want." And she's like, "I
Yeah,
think I might." And then he comes back and he's like, "Hey, can you tell me, basically they're trying to find out like their these social security numbers, and they end up being all sequential, which is impossible for these people that have been born in different years and different areas and stuff." And he freaks out because he knows it's all a cover up. He knows that they're just making like lying. These are all cover stories, whatever. And he tells this other police officer to take another week off and stay in like wherever she's going, like the Bahamas or
going
something.
to the Bahamas with some
And
random
and
dude.
and, uh, and then he just plants a big kiss right on her lips,
Yeah,
like right in the
yeah,
middle of the thing. And then you're just like,
yeah. You can't get
what?
away with that today.
You're like, what? Dennehy, the charmer. Um,
Right.
but like so. Anyways, that happens, and then yeah, like he's on the hunt for Mason
He's
and
on the hunt for
Lipton.
Mason, but
Yep.
he gets suspended first, and then he steals his captain's badge.
Yep.
So when he goes to Mason's house, he organizes all that backup using his captain's badge and name. He
Yeah.
brings in like a whole the police department, like telling them like, "Oh yeah, I forgot what his name was, but he was using his captain's badge and name." And so all those police officers that show up, they don't even know who they're really there for. And then inside Jerry Orbach, he knows like, hey, uh, Rollie Tyler is fucking people up out there. Your guys are
Well,
getting killed.
and also like the Jerry Orbach character makes a crucial mistake in the movie where Brian Dennehy's character calls Mason's house to talk to Mason, and Mason is talking to him, and Orbach's character can't take it, and he thinks Jerry Orbach's character thinks Mason is talking to Rollie
And he
Tyler,
grabs the phone.
and he grabs the phone, and he's like, like I'll kill you, my or whatever, like, and he's like you're a dead man or something,
Right.
and then
And
like
so Leo knows that
yeah,
that Orbach is alive.
so he's got the full picture now too, like, and it's just so classic, like the bad guys undoing themselves, and then some of the most awesome special effects to take down the criminals start happening, and it is just glorious, especially like watching this as a kid, seeing like Rollie Tyler go up and like take some like take like a mop and like rustle the like tree branches, and then the guy
Yeah.
comes over and then he takes that dude out.
Yeah. He
And then
electrifies the fence
electrifies the fence and sends like a remote control balloon.
just to explode in that dude's face.
Oh man, like
Um,
so like yeah, like takes out the dude like rustling the trees with the electrified fence, takes out this other dude with like an exploding balloon. Then he's gonna sneak inside.
he
When he gets
sneaks inside,
inside,
and that's when the real fun
oh
starts
dude, the sickest stuff ever.
because
And
he's
like
fucking with Tom Noon and that other guy
and he's
because
got
upstairs, and he's like setting off these little sound effects that are in a different room, and Noonan and the other guy would run in there, and they check he wasn't there, and he'd set off another different sound effect, and they'd run in there, and I
yeah,
mean it's kind of
set,
almost childlike, but it's hilarious.
yeah, he's setting off these like clickers and stuff, and they're running over. And then eventually, what he does is he ends up having them kind of split up. Like Raleigh gets these two criminals split up, and then he drops this mirrored, like it's a roll
Like
down
a
kind of
roll up
screen,
mirrored projection screen.
and it's
you
just a
know
mirror. And he
right
does like one of the sound effects on the other side, but then he himself stands in a different room farther back, so whoever runs in sees his reflection,
he sees the reflection and
thinks they're in
shoots.
front of him, and he shoots through the mirror, kills his partner. The partner also starts shooting back because he's getting shot.
Right.
They both kill each other. Rollie
Well,
Tyler.
no, I
Oh
think
no!
Raleigh kills Tom Noonan.
Oh, that's right.
I forgot. I think he smashes him in the head or something.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because like that's also where like Rollie Tyler goes from like fake killing people
To becoming a real
to
killer.
really killing
He
people.
kills everybody in the house.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of has to, but like,
Right.
it's still one of those things where it's like, he's been pushed that far. He's seen his girlfriend get sniped.
Right.
He's seen like his whole like career and like everything he is try to get trashed and destroyed.
Right.
And these punks are like getting away with it. So yeah, like he starts fighting back, and then like then after that is probably my favorite one where Jerry Orbach, when he's getting his like mask done, they're putting the squibs on. They put the squibs on using a radio transmitter.
Oh,
Now,
and that's when you
now
find out he's got the
so
pacemaker.
he's got a pacemaker, and you find out because he's like, "Wait, radio." He's like, "I can't have that." He's like, "That's going to kill me." He's like, "How do I know this isn't going to kill me?" And Rollie Tyler does the
He just
classic,
turns it on and like, you're
flips
all
the,
right.
yeah, just flips the switch on. He's like, "You're okay." He's like, "See," and so like that happened earlier in the movie, and then Jerry Orbach's like character is like freaking out, and he's trying to leave, and he's gonna just cut bait and like split on like Mason and everybody else. And he turns and he goes to grab this doorknob,
And it's electrified.
and it's electrified.
And it's just enough charge to set his pacemaker off. And he just, basically has a heart attack.
Yep.
But then right before he dies, Mason's like, hey, give me the key. Give me the key. And, so now there's this key.
Yeah, and he's like, "Give me the key," and like, and Orbach's like, "Save me,
He's
save
like,
me!"
you
And he's
got,
like,
no, give me the
He's like,
key
"There's no
first.
time. Like, you're dead, dude."
Basically just lets him die. But then
Well,
Raleigh plays the trick on Mason. So at the end of the movie, Raleigh comes in with the machine gun, but he fakes his death. You remember?
oh yeah,
And that's when Orbach goes and he grabs the door, and then Orbach dies. Well, and then Raleigh comes back to life, and he's got the machine gun on Mason. And then for some reason, Mason tries to talk him into like, hey, I got the key. We can go to Switzerland together, and we can split the money, just you and me. They know my face. They only know Jerry Orbach's face, and they only know my face. And Raleigh like does something with the gun and sets it down, and then walks away and just says, that'll never work. And then Mason sees the gun. He's like, here we go. And he picks up the gun. And then Raleigh's like, you know what this is? Super glue. 1,001 uses. Now there's 1,002. And Mason realizes that his hands are super glued to the machine gun. And then Raleigh just shoves him out the door where all the cops are at.
telling him to drop the
Basically, just
gun.
suicide by cops.
Oh
He
yeah.
couldn't let go of the gun, so he ends up getting killed. So then the cops know everyone's dead. They walk in the house. Raleigh's faking his own death. He's got the thing over his neck, so they think he's dead because they can't feel his pulse.
And he's got him over his wrists too.
Yeah,
So everywhere you can check a pulse,
right.
he's got covered.
He goes to the morgue inside the body bag. You know,
I mean, it's awesome, dude.
that's awesome. And then he, unzips himself out of the body bag in the morgue and tries to escape. And who's there? Who is waiting for him? Will Teasel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now Leo is there waiting for him because Leo knew, Leo suspected that he was still alive.
yep.
And the thing is, and that's the end of the movie. That's the first time those two meet.
Yeah, they meet. Like he's like, hey, Raleigh, let's
Hey,
talk.
nice to meet you.
Like that's like there, and then like it cuts, and then the next thing you see is them on like a boat where with like,
Well,
or no,
right.
they're like in the parking lot
No,
or
they're
something.
in the next scene is they're in the bank. All
Oh,
right.
that's right. That's
And
right.
there's a character in the bank
And he looks
and
like Jerry
it's
Orbach.
Jerry Orbach. And you're like, oh shit. And then he gets into the car with Leo and then rips off the mask, Mission Impossible style.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, those two guys are like best friends, you know?
That's right. I forget. And that last scene too, where it's like he's impersonating Jerry Orbach, and they're like, smash it. Like, but he kept like the mask. He kept more than what he let on
Right,
to,
right.
and or he smashed it, but he still had the mold.
He's,
He never told him to smash the mold. He
which
like
makes me think that anything that he worked on,
he
he,
has copies of.
he's got copies of, you
Yeah,
know? I think, that's his specialties. He saves everything.
yeah,
So
and then
even when he tells him to break the mold, I think he already had another one ready,
yeah,
you know?
like he was like break that, but like yeah, like he broke he broke the cast, but he didn't break the mold, right?
Right,
So like but that was great at the end of that. And then like yeah, and then you see like Leo in like a Hawaiian shirt
right.
and just like
They're
Dennehy
traveling the Alps.
smiling, and yeah, and like I know they made an FX2. I've never seen it, or if I have, it was not
I
as memorable,
I think
obviously.
that's one I've seen once and just forgot about and never
Um,
really came back to it.
and what I'd say also too, like like I know we do like creep factor and things like that. Um, there's not a whole lot of creep factor in here.
Not a lot of creep factor,
Tom Noonan exists
except
in
for
this
Tom
movie.
Noonan. Tom
Exists in this
Noonan, he's
movie.
always creep factor.
Yeah, he's always creepy. I would say like at times, Lipton is kind of creepy, especially at the start. Like
Yeah,
starts
especially at the
super creepy.
start.
And yeah, but like there's a lot of that guy in this movie. I mean,
For sure.
Lipton,
The guy
Mason,
that plays Mason,
he's good in everything.
his voice is very, it was in a bunch of commercials during the 80s.
Yeah,
If you listen to that guy's voice, like you recognize his voice.
yeah, and I know he's played like executives and like
Yeah, no,
politicians and
he's an
stuff.
old actor from back in the day.
But this movie is like, just like a trip, like I said, like, and it's like one of those. I loved it as a kid when I rewatched it not too long ago. I didn't think it lost any of its luster. Like I was like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about this part. This part's amazing. And
Right.
and I will say, like, I think a lot of like modern movies kind of mine FX for scenes. And I know like one that we talked about was like Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol has like a scene where um, Tom Cruise and the other one of the other characters are trying to like go down a hall in the Kremlin, and they end up doing the screen,
Oh, right,
and
right,
they end up having like this like little
right.
sound clicker thing that like
That's
they
got to be
did.
inspired by FX,
Oh, 100%. Like I mean, like it's basically this root of that scene. Like you've got the screen, you've got the little sound maker, you got people going different ways, you got confusion,
Right.
and so yeah, like there's that. I think like some of big set pieces in like I was thinking about this in The Usual Suspects kind of remind me of the start of this movie where he blows away like the lobster and stuff. And even Mission Impossible 1, Brian De Palma has a scene very much like shooting the lobster tanks.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
know, he's got that like red light, green light, and it's the fish tanks and they go down
Now,
stuff like that.
anytime there's a fish tank exploding, I'm all in.
Which is wild that like this isn't like creepy like Brian De Palma, but there are elements that are like I feel like they pull a little Brian De Palma into this movie, and then to see him use an effect that was used in this movie later for like his big budget Mission Impossible movie.
Right.
It's just kind of wild. Like I love that like directors, no matter how big they get, aren't afraid to steal from other directors.
Oh, right, right. No, and
And I
that's
say that like lovingly. Like I mean like uh,
no, I think that's its own, art form is just, and you're not stealing. You just like stuff that you want to use,
it's
and you
more like
just get inspired by other stuff,
it's more
and a
like
lot of times
an
they think,
homage,
well, I
right?
think I could take it to a different level too.
Yeah, it's like an homage or taking it to a different level or I like this director so much. I want to show a little wink that this is the inspiration for that stuff. But yeah, I think there's just like so much fun stuff happening in this movie, and I'm glad that we got a chance to talk about it. Any last ideas, thoughts on FX?
I think this is like a really good family movie, and
That's true.
if I'm not mistaken, I think it's rated R, and I can't tell what for.
If it's rated R, that's surprising.
It
Because
might just be for the, when Diane Verona gets sniped.
it might. Well, I think she might get naked a little bit in this one too.
I don't
You see
remember that,
the
but
breast?
anyway, this is
Anyway,
a great family movie.
but
If
like
you are,
I would say family movie too because like it would not reach the level of R in 2026,
no,
and
no,
it's a really fun ride. Um, the actors are all really solid actors. I don't think anybody was really too wooden except for maybe Andy.
except for
And
Andy,
um,
which they get rid of her anyway, so it's not bad.
and I mean the effects are like like Rick Baker type
Right.
classic
You know,
Hollywood effects, and like
especially 80s, it's classic 80s style effects. And which I always, it's nostalgic for like me and you because we grew up on 80s movies.
yeah, well, and it's
You
all
know,
but it very much I think even though like I said like my kids saw this and like it's very much like a if you like movies, this is like a movie that loves movies, right?
right,
Like, this is like a movie lovers type of movie because there's kind of like his whole thing is like he's behind the camera, he's behind the scenes
right.
and stuff, but in this movie he's in the front of the camera and he's in every scene and and it's just kind of like that juxtaposition I dig. I liked that it like kind of becomes like a little bit of a mystery or a whodunit or definitely a
Well, it's kind of
thriller
like
through
it
and
turns
through.
into like a little bit of a thriller,
Yeah, yeah,
and and it has that's got a cool ending. When they go back to Mason's house and everything happens there, and then him and Dennehy escape to Switzerland, with $15 million.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
It's very cool. And seeing like the good guys get away with it, kind of. And
right.
but
You
yeah,
know,
but like I think it's a highly recommended movie. Like Max said, let the family watch it. If you got
and
any
it's on
buddies,
Tubi.
yep, it's on Tubi, like a lot of our stuff is these days. And if you have a friend that likes movies, and they say, yeah, I haven't seen FX, like I mean, it is definitely worth the like 92 minutes or whatever it is
Yeah.
to get through, and it goes by quick. It's a lot of fun. Um, I wish this director would have. It's kind of lightning in a bottle for this dude because I think
Yeah, the only other
Or
thing he really did was School Ties,
yeah, School Ties, which again,
which
I
is
like
pretty
School
good.
Ties. Yeah, School Ties is a
Got
good
racist Matt Damon.
racist Matt Damon. If you want your villain to be like that, there's plenty of those to choose from these days. So I think in 2026, but yeah, that's a decent movie. But I think this is like a masterpiece of, and this is definitely will be that director's like,
Yeah, I don't even know what his name. I think it's like Robert Mandel or
yep,
something.
Robert Mandel.
And I think he came from the theater. I think he was like a theater director, and they kind of
Okay,
just
okay.
roped him into, doing some movies. And this was like, this was a good one for him. And I think School Ties was another one, but he didn't really do much after that, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and I will say too, like I rented this a ton from Blockbuster, and it had one of the best covers in
Yeah.
effect, and easy to see, red, black, and white. But yeah, like Mac and I said, like we love this movie. It's a lot of fun to watch, and check it out when you get a chance. And I think that's it for Lost Copy this week. But I do know we've got a lot more coming at you, a lot more movies to review, a couple different kinds of episodes, I think, that we're going to try out. And be on the lookout for that. Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, TikTok, and definitely check out our YouTube channel. That's where we post the full episodes, and you can interact with us there, comment, all that good stuff. So we will see you next time.
Cool. See ya.